Hello Buns, and welcome back to Cinnabun Sundays, our weekly video series where we talk about all things bunny. I'm Morgan, Cinnabun's bun mom, and today we are going to be comparing enrichment toys. Enrichment is a bit of a buzzword within the rabbit community. Rabbits themselves are foraging creatures. In the wild, rabbits are used to digging around in the dirt for their food, eating grass and veggies and just whatever they can forage out in nature. So domesticated rabbits, they constantly are looking for ways that they can kind of tune into their innate senses like that. Rabbits love to dig, they love to explore, they love to sniff around, and a great way to really enrich their minds, if you will, is through their feeding time and through different types of toys. Instead of just feeding your rabbit their salad on a plate or their pellets in a bowl, it's really useful to actually make them work for it because that is stimulating their brain, it's making them smarter, and it's something exciting for them to do. Rabbits love to be busy, they love to have stuff going on, so enrichment toys, not only are they good for their brains, they're also good for their hearts and their souls because they are getting stimulated and they are having fun doing so. There are a ton of different toys out there that you can buy for your rabbit, but today I am going to try out 6 very popular, very different enrichment toys, and we are going to compare all 6 of these head to head against each other and try to figure out what is the absolute best enrichment toy for your bun. I am going to score each toy in 5 different categories: the cost of the toy, how much time they actually spend playing with and engaging with the toy, the ease of the toy. Is it an easy setup? Is it an easy cleanup? Is it messy? All of those things. How cute the toy is, because let's be real, as consumers and rabbit owners, those things are important. And lastly, and maybe most importantly, how much enrichment is your rabbit actually getting from this toy? The first toy that we're going to talk about are stacking cups. Stacking cups are absolutely adorable, and they're a very fun game that you can play with your rabbit. Stacking cups actually are not really marketed as rabbit toys. You buy them for children, but they've become very popular in the rabbit community as something you can hide treats in. I have these stacking cups from Mushy, and they were $15 for them. So as far as cost goes, I'm gonna say 3 out of 5 Cinnabuns here. To play with these toys, I just hid some pellets in each individual cup and then stack them all on top of each other and put them in front of Cinnabun. Now, Cinnabun has played with these toys quite a few times, so the first few times she kind of didn't know what to do with it, but now she's a pro at lifting the cups up. When it comes to playtime, she plays with these for about 5 to 10 minutes, but as soon as she's done finding the treats inside, the cups get abandoned. So I'm gonna give the playtime 3 out of 5 because she is playing, she is hunting, but once she's done, she's done. Now, these cups are really easy to set up, but I'm actually only gonna give these 2 Cinnabuns out of 5 because these can be quite the mess. Even though she is eating all of the food, or at least all the food she can find, when she picks each cup up, she is flinging pellets everywhere, and that just means there's getting dust everywhere, and most likely she's gonna miss some pellets. Also, the cups get left behind, and so you have to clean them up as well. So there is a bit of cleanup involved with stacking cups. As far as cuteness, this is a 5 out of 5 for me. 1, they're so adorable themselves, like they're very cute, but 2, look how stinking cute she is playing with this. I mean, this is the cutest thing in the world. And lastly, for enrichment, this is also going to get a 5 out of 5 Cinnabuns for me. This is just such a great way to train your rabbit and teach your rabbit problem solving. Next up is our tried and true Snuffle Mat. This particular mat was gifted to us by Poppy Seed and Paws, but it retails at about $40, which is definitely gonna get a 1 out of 5 Cinnabuns as far as price goes, but I will say this is a handmade item from a small business, so I have no problem supporting businesses like that. But if I'm ranking this fairly, this is the most expensive thing on the list. A Snuffle Mat is such an easy thing to use to stimulate your rabbit. I put Cinnabun's pellets in her Snuffle Mat every single day, and she will spend 20 to 30 minutes just digging around in her mat. It's a great way for her to dig like she would if she were a wild rabbit out in nature, which, let's be real, she's not. It still is letting her get into that instinct, and she spends quite a while doing so. So as far as playtime, she's getting a 5 out of 5. And ease, I'm also gonna give it a 5 out of 5 because there's no cleanup necessary. You just put the pellets on and she does the rest. It's also so cute. Another 5 out of 5 for me. The custom work on it is great. You can pick your colors. So cute. And as far as enrichment goes, I'm gonna give this 4 out of 5 because this is such a great way to stimulate your rabbit during their feeding time, but there isn't much deductive reasoning going on. She's really just hunting and digging. Not that full perfect 5 of having to figure out like a task, but still a great score. The next toy we're gonna talk about is this little Forage Ball. How precious is this thing? This little Forage Ball is coming in at only $9, so it's gonna get a 5 out of 5 Cinnabuns for us as far as the price goes. To play with this, you just add pellets or forage or some little snack inside of the ball, put it on the ground, and your rabbit will push it around with their nose. It's absolutely adorable, so obviously I'm giving it a 5 out of 5 there. Whenever I put this ball on the ground for Cinnabun, this will entertain her for quite a long time. It's one of those things where she'll play with it for a while, kind of forget about it, but then come back to it. So it's a good thing that you can leave behind for your rabbit to entertain them if you're going to be gone. So I'm actually going to give it a 5 out of 5 on playtime. But here's where it gets a little tricky is the ease. While you're putting forage inside, most likely you're going to spill some out like I did. And then as your rabbit pushes it around, they're just leaving a trail of dust behind. They're gonna clean up a lot of it, but there's still gonna be pieces that are left behind. And I feel like I can never get all of the forage out of the ball, so like over time, forage kind of builds up inside of it, so I'm gonna give it a 2 out of 5 for ease. And as far as enrichment goes, I'm going to go with a 3 out of 5 here because she is using her brain, but not too much. She's just pushing a ball around and getting some snacks out of it. Ugh, man, this next one is such a fail. I'm just letting you know right off the top here. It is this little food tower tree from 𝒐𝒊𝒏𝒆𝒔. I love 𝒐𝒊𝒏𝒆𝒔. I think they have a lot of great products. There's actually another 𝒐𝒊𝒏𝒆𝒔 product that we're going to talk about later on this list, but in my opinion, this one is just a flop. It's this little wooden post that has little apple sticks sticking out of it. Right off the bat, it's really not super stable. The apple sticks just kind of flop around and it just feels like it's going to break apart instantly. This thing costs $15, which isn't a lot, but for what it is, I think it's a 1 out of 5. It's like this thing is worth like $2. It's also hard because there's not a lot of like foods and snacks that I can just like hang for Cinnabun. Really the only thing I could think to hang on it was her lettuce, and it just like all kind of fell off. And while she was trying to eat it, I kept being really nervous that she was gonna like poke her eye with the sticks. So as far as playtime goes, I mean, it was like 2 minutes. She just like kind of knocked her lettuce off and ate it, and that was that. And I'm also giving it a 1 out of 5 on ease because it was so much to set up her lettuce and then it just all like fell off. So I don't really get it. I don't understand the point of it. I don't find it that cute. 2 out of 5 here. And lastly, there is no enrichment involved in this thing. Again, she just was kind of like trying to get to her food, and I'm giving it a 1 out of 5. So this one was a flop. But this next toy is this fun little Forage Garden, which I loved. It's this little box that just has a lot of little toys and some paper and just crinkly things that are all attached into the box. So that way your rabbit can't just yank everything out and make a mess. They actually have to like dig for their treats and forage throughout this garden that they've created. This box costs $23, which I think is pretty steep, especially because it's really nothing special. It's just some paper and cardboard. So I'm gonna give it a 2 out of 5 on the cost scale. But everything else for this, I'm giving a shining review. Playtime, I mean, she spent so much time just like digging around in here looking for her forage. Even later, after she was like done with it, she came back and started digging again, just trying to find little pieces because the forage would get mixed up inside of the garden. Insanely easy to clean up, and because everything is attached in the box, it wasn't messy at all. So I'm giving it a 5 out of 5 for ease. Adorable, 5 out of 5. And I think that this is like a perfect example of what enrichment for your rabbit is. It's a lot of time spent hunting and foraging for her food, just like she would if she were Peter Rabbit out in the garden. So I'm gonna give it 5 out of 5 there. And the last toy we're gonna talk about is a puzzle game. I bought this puzzle on Amazon and it was only $8, so that is such a great deal, especially considering that this is an actual product for $8 where the lettuce tower was $15 and was quite literally just some sticks. So 5 out of 5 on cost. You just hide some forage or pellets inside of the holes, and I will say that the holes were quite small, so you can't fit a ton, but that wasn't a problem for us. Cinnabun doesn't eat a lot of pellets, and I actually found that the small holes made it more fun for her to like dig and chew around on. She played with this for like about 10-15 minutes. I mean, how long it would take her to eat pellets. It's so cute because you just put the little toy on the ground and they have to like pick up the little pegs to find their food, and it took her quite a little while to eat her pellets. So I would say as far as playtime goes, I'm gonna give this a 3 out of 5 because once she was done eating, she abandoned it, but it definitely elongated her eating period. Easy setup. I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5 just because it is a little meticulous putting the little pegs in and out, but it's pretty easy. It's not super complicated, so 4 out of 5. I personally don't think that this toy is very cute. It's cute to watch Cinnabun with it, but as far as the design goes, it's pretty basic, so I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 5. And lastly, I think this deserves a 5 out of 5 for Enrichment for sure, because like the cups, she has to learn how to play and interact with this game. The first time you put something like this in front of your rabbit, they're probably gonna be like, where's my food? But it teaches them to lift things up and search and hunt for their toys. So that is making your rabbit smarter. So if we are to look at the highest ranking toy on here, it looks like the toy coming in by just 1 point is the garden forage toy. But honestly, I would recommend every single toy on this list except for the tree tower thing. Just skip that one. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope maybe this helped you find a new enrichment toy for your rabbit, and I will see you in our next video. Bye, Buns!